Hello there and welcome to another unemulated Spectrum gameplay video. This one is another game I've not heard of as I'm trying to continue with this. I'm trying to keep doing games that maybe aren't so well known. I haven't checked whether there are YouTube videos of them about, but they're games that I certainly haven't heard of, and I've heard of most Spectrum games, or a large portion of the commercial ones anyway. So here we have Rumpus, or Robot Rumpus actually, as it says on the cover. And here is the cover. As you can see, it's by Atlantis. It came out in 1984. Atlantis weren't renowned for the best quality games. They were a budget producer, and all their games priced at $1.99. I'm just going to turn that rather irritating sound down. So yeah, a really early game. It's written by somebody called S.P. Ralph, with advice from D.S. Hall. So a bit strange there. Don't know what sort of advice D.S. Hall offered to Mr. or Mrs. Ralph, or Miss Ralph, but there you go, he's credited on the main screen here. The object of the game is you play a robot called Rory, who has to stop these terrorist robots from gaining control of the Robo Complex, and to do this you need to collect these power gems that are in each room, and then escape down the bottom of the screen when a little exit appears. They're all in different positions, I presume, in each room, and the terrorists, so to speak, are out to get you. 15 levels in total, so let's just see how we get on with Robot or Robo Rumpus, depending what you believe. So I'm just going to put that back because I'm reading the plot out there, and we're going to go with keyboard, I think. The keys are QZOP, so a bit of a strange variation on the famous QAOP. There's no fire button, so away we go. A lot of beeping from the Speccy. Okay, so this is the guy I'm controlling at the bottom. He moves very swiftly. Not animated. And you just go up and collect them like that. Okay, gotcha. I have had a quick go on this already, and I can say that I was pretty impressed, to be honest. It's obviously very basically written. Not a lot of machine code going on here, but the way that the character moves suggests that there is some, at least. Ooh. So the idea, as you can see, the gems are situated in between gaps in the platforms, and Rory has to nip in between and collect them whilst avoiding these terrorists, they're called. So it doesn't seem particularly onerous so far, this game, but the main character really does move quite swiftly, which makes the game quite nicely playable. Oh, that was quick, wasn't it? In and out very quickly there, so to speak. So you get a little bonus, depending how many rooms you've done. So far, so good. No lives lost. The lives are in the top left-hand corner, as you can see. Oh, done already. And back down. He moves really quickly, and you can also move him left and right while he's coming down or up as well. So very manoeuvrable, our Rory. And it's serving him well so far because we're on the fourth room already. Slight variation in the enemies. Oops. Yeah, they kind of swing down. Yeah, as I say, Atlantis, they weren't the best publisher. I think, I've never written about Atlantis, but I think they were formed as part of a video label. It was a video rental company, I believe, or maybe they sold videos as well. Obviously quite big business in the 80s. Oh, and yeah, they decided to branch out into video games, and basically they followed the Mastertronic model where they advertised the games from would-be programmers and published them. Probably didn't pay a lot, royalties, very little up front, if anything. But it was a good way, if you'd written a simple game like Robot Rumpus, it was a good way of getting a game published and out there. And to be honest, this isn't too bad. I think if I'd have, bearing in mind some of the cack that Atlantis put out, I remember buying a game called Time Zone, which was featured a robot dog, and you were going through different times apparently, but all the times looked exactly the same, so it was a very disappointing game, that was. But I think if I'd got this, I would have been quite pleased, although the sound leaves a bit to be desired. I think it reminds me a little bit of a game called Nifty Lifty, which I've not played, but my friend Bazza H, another Spectrum fan, he did a video of it a while back, and it's got quite a similar sort of way of playing to this, although it's actually different. So I don't know what I'm talking about really. So where are we on now? We're on room 8 already, and there's 15 rooms, and according to the instructions things get very difficult in room 15. So might be a spoiler alert here for anyone wanting to play this, because I've still got 2 lives left and I'm on room 9 now, so not many rooms to go. So if you don't want to see the ending, not that Speccy games usually had much of an ending. A lot of these games, I always found it fascinating because of the way that they advertised. A lot of these games were obviously simple, and they were from guys that basically did one game and then either moved out of the industry or moved into a different branch of programming. So a lot of people that did, even some of Mastertronic's more famous games and Atlantis' more famous games, they didn't do a lot else other than their 1 or 2 games for Mastertronic or Atlantis. That was a bit bad there, eh? Never mind. Now I think you keep the gems, yeah, so I just have to go like that and I'm out. I don't quite know what all that is about. I guess it's Rory descending to the next room. So what are we on to now? Room, this could take quite a while as we go on. On to room 11, so 4 more rooms to go. Can I do it? Oh, and done. Doesn't seem to be a great deal of variation. I think if I was designing this game, obviously only 15 levels, I think you could probably make it quite a lot different to make it harder really, but it seems that every screen is more or less the same, to be honest. Bare slight change in the position of the diamonds maybe, and that of course makes it rather predictable. They all seem to be more or less on top of each other, the gems that you have to collect. So this is literally the second time I've played this game, and I'm on to room 13 now, so there's only 3 more rooms left for me to play. Actually, that is of course quite at odds with most Spectrum games, which are extremely tough. Oh. And a bit of dodging around, but that one was a bit trickier, that one. But I got through it again without losing a life. Rory keeps on going. I think this will be the first time I've ever completed a game actually for a Speccy video. 2 more rooms to go. Can I do it? 2 lives left. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You can always slip down the side when you've collected all the gems. So the last room now approaching, which apparently is the most difficult one according to this, as it should be of course. It says if you manage to reach room 15, the terrorists get really angry and life becomes even more dangerous. So let's see what room 15 has got. It's supercharged, I bet they're quicker. Yeah. So this is definitely a bit trickier, but I would argue they should have done this a bit earlier in the game, to be honest. 1 life left. 3 sets of gems to collect. This is indeed a bit tricky now. Oh! So that's a bit disappointing. I think the game's pretty good, pretty simple for $1.99. Not a bad buy. Back in the day, I wouldn't have been too disappointed with this, but it needs to have a better difficulty curve, really, because that level 15, as you just saw, is incredibly tough compared to the rest of the game. And I think you need to be eased in a little bit more to that final level, so a couple of other levels need to be a bit trickier as well. But overall, for $1.99, Robo Rumpus, I think that's a fairly decent game back in the day, and a nice new game that I've discovered. So thanks for watching, and I'll post another video soon. Cheers, bye.